Hey, good evening. Time for more Voron things. Yes. Oh dear, it's been a long week. So, hello to everyone joining. Welcome back. This is the Voron. We're going to do some tuning and calibration and generally improvement things. As you can see, the last or current progress has been, so we did one on the stream, one print. Oh, are we gonna make this? Come on, camera, you can do it. I know you can do it. There we go. So this one we did on the this one we did on the stream, where it was terrible to begin with. I changed the extrusion ratio, and then it was kind of good but stopped. And then this one I did afterwards, or the next morning. And as you can see, it's like wavery all the way through. It was because I hadn't calibrated extrusion steps. I hadn't calibrated anything, just wanted to do a print. So yeah, obviously now we're basically starting the setup process, the proper setup process for the printer. It did obviously complete this print, so the CAN bus didn't fail, but I think we are having some CAN bus issues. We'll see where we get to today in terms of actually diagnosing stuff like that. Depends what's holding us up. So that's the plan. FYI, Earlier Motors, BigTreeTech and One2.3D provided all the parts for this build. Not all of the parts, a lot of the parts for this build. You can check links in the description for the bill of materials and stuff like that for where I got things. And we're doing a giveaway today. Ooh, let's move that over there, this over here. We're giving away 2 of these. Let's send the link. So this right here is Daybreak Neo, RGB LED. Hopefully we'll do, well, I'm going to work on the RGB stuff first. So I'll do a demo. I'm going to show you what they, kind of a test script that I have. It's not very exciting. I've got greasy marks all over this one apparently. Oh dear, mucky fingies. But yes, we're going to give away 2 of these to 2 separate people. And yes, that's the thing. So enter via the link. There you go, that's the thing. So let's get on with doing some diagnoses. So the first thing I want to look at is the Neopixels, because they should have started like something. They should turn on with the printer, and so far they've done a grand total of nada. So I'm going to basically remove them from here, plug them into an Arduino and see if they work there. That'll be the first steps, because that way if I know they're wired correctly, then we can look at firmware. But if I don't even know that they're wired correctly, anything we do in firmware will be useless. Well, irrelevant, basically. Oopsie daisy. Let's bring this camera here. Yours arrived this week. They look and feel great. Excellent. I'm glad you're happy with them. Hello, everyone. Hello. So this part on the front is what we call afterburner, or stealth burner more specifically, actually. This is where the Neopixels are housed in through here. We need to, that's the wrong size. Take this cover off, we'll get to the connector around the back. I'm going to disconnect them completely from here. Easier said than done when there's no space. Cool, it's so tight. Oh, they're all cable managed as well, aren't they? I'm going to have to did you add a 100 ohm resistor closest to the signal pin in the Octopus Pro? I'm not using the Octopus Pro. It's obviously on the EBB what's it, but it does look like the PCB may be missing a needed resistor. This is something I also identified earlier. Oh my gosh, can't even. Looks like this one. Should give me a little bit extra. Okay. Oh, I have to unplug everything else as well. Well, that's annoying. Could we do it without removing that entirely? We might be able to manage that. Okay. Now we need this and this. I'm not sure how much you need different from Stealth Planner. I mean, there's a different motor for one. So this is basically an Arduino that I've set up for like testing LEDs. So it has everything for running Neopixels on it. So all we have to do in theory is plug them in and turn it on, and we should get light. We should have one red. Oh no, they're slightly different. These are RGBWs. Maybe it won't work. Das ist pain. It's not looking good. Let's disconnect the fans. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. so we can check that they're wired in the way that they should be. First we're going to check power to ground to see if I've crossed them over somewhere, and then we'll check continuity from the front to the end. Hopefully it's going to be a bit difficult, I think, but we'll give it a go. So we should hear that, or we shouldn't hear that rather. Well, that's a good start. We're going to need to remove Z fan now. That just pushes out. And then there's a little part on here that we should be able to hook into with something like this. Tell you what, I think if we might get a slightly better angle. Okay, so ground is black here, and should go to black here too. That seems fine. And the positive side. Ah, nil point. Ah, these are crossed. So what I've done here is, because I've used weird colours, I've mixed them up. So our purple is our data pin and green is the power. So now, let's just double check again, so we're not being, this is a bit bent. So we're also going to need a different test script. I think my current one only works for RGBW. Don't know if I can find it somewhere. If I can modify it, I shall do that. If I can find the appropriate place where I have saved it. Oh. Just loading up the Arduino sketch. So this is the code I have. It's just kind of bodged together from other things, so it's not particular. Oh no, sorry. Why is that showing the wrong thing? That's fantastic, isn't it? There we go. And then you can see my arm for some reason. So, this is pin 6 for a bunch of Neopixels. Don't know how many pixels and which pin to use to send signals. That older. Okay, so this might be it. This is the library that's going to be sending the things. GRB. So there might be examples. So I want to find an example that has the code that I need, and I'll just copy and paste it out of there. So there are Neopixel examples from Adafruit. Because we basically just need to modify this field here so that it knows what the type of LEDs are that we're using. But you have to load the library. Oh, why is this not working? Go. This one. Adafruit Neopixel by Adafruit. This should then work. Yeah, that's loaded that. That understands that. So now okay, we don't need to have that. Sketch file examples. Huh. Maybe you have to switch off. Turn it off and turn it back on again. Huh, I swear this is how I did it before. Am I just missing it? Huh. How? Did I do it from a zip file or something? Oh, this is annoying. Might be easier just to plug them in. We'll avoid doing the whole complete reassembly. I might take these doors off actually. How easy are they to do? Pretty easy. Assembled. Now where do we go? Let's turn it on. Whoops, a daisy. Come on, please work, please work, please work. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! We have some Neopixels. Neopixels. Cool, we're pixeled to the max. It makes all the difference. Cannot connect to Moonraker now. What the hell's going on? Not ideal. It's possible we've had more problems than I've noticed with the CAN bus. If it's caused like weird shutdowns or something in the middle of printing, it may have caused some sort of corruption or something, I don't know. That just restarted on its own, didn't it? Hello, we've arrived. Interestingly, rather, that wasn't the CAN that was the problem that time, because the RGBs did come on, didn't they? Which means it's set them. I don't think the board can do anything independently of the main control board. So, now we can configure them a little bit. Here. Sebastian Jackal, welcome to be a member. Not a gold member, but a member nonetheless. Where do we go from here? I remember. Oh no, so it's not on this one, is it? RGBW. So we have a bit of red and a tiny bit of white. Unfortunately, we can't do different ones for each one. If we do just white, at the moment it looks a bit naff having a mix. I'd say that looks pretty neat. It's also pretty wobbly because nothing is screwed in, so let's get that fixed. Unless there's other things we need to look at on here. My Noctra fans, I did acquire, as we mentioned last stream about having some Noctra fans in the basement area. I purchased them and Amazon says they've been delivered, but they've not been delivered. I don't know where they are and they can't help. Useless. Evening Ella and evening to Ricky B. I think the LED of Stealth Burner all set up already. Maybe just include the macros in the print start. I don't know what those macros are. Oops, daisy. Let's have a look. I mean, no. Clicking the wrong things today. I think my brain's a little bit fried. There's no other macros there. Yeah, status. So I was going to actually look at doing some more advanced things for other RGB LEDs as well. But not necessarily now. Is it on? Oh, why am I yawning? Bloody hell. Stealthburner underscore LEDs.cfg. There we go. This is what we need. So let's get that. Where's my add-in gone? There we go, and then we can just download it. Keep. Let's have a look what it is first. VS Code is going to open in a reasonable amount of time because it took for ages before last time for some reason. Here we go. Don't tell me release notes. Macros for setting the status LEDs on the Voron Stealth Burner toolhead for any Neopixel type LEDs. You will need to configure a Neopixel or other addressable LEDs such as dot star. See config reference Neopixel for configuration details. Copy this CFG into your Clipper config directory and then add include Stealthburner LEDs.cfg to the top of your printer in order to register the LEDs and macros with Clipper. Define your LEDs by editing Neopixel SB underscore LEDs below and entering the data pin from your control board as well as the color order. Note, RGB and RGBW are different and must be defined explicitly. RGB and RGBW are also not able to be mix and matched in the same chain. Separate data line will be needed for proper functioning. RGBW LEDs will have a visible yellowish phosphor section to the chip. If your LEDs do not have this yellow phosphor, you have RGB. Save your config or restart. Once you have confirmed that LEDs are set up, you must now decide where you want all these macros called up, which means adding them to your existing G-code macros. Nothing will happen unless you add the status underscore something macros to your existing G-code macros. Add status underscore living to the beginning of your QGL G-code macro and then add status underscore ready to the end of it to set the logo LED and nozzle LEDs back to their ready state. Add status cleaning to the beginning of your nozzle cleaning macro and then status ready to the end of it to return the LEDs to ready state. Feel free to change colors of each macro, create new ones if you ever need to. The macros provided below are just an example of what is possible. If you want to try some more complex animations, you will most likely have to use WLED with Moonraker and a small microcontroller. So first of all, let's just upload this file. Upload file from the downloads, this one here, and we have it here. It wrote out, here we go, let's just copy and paste this, that'll be easiest. Close that, print a CFG, pop, and then here. Enter your LED pin data name. Okay, so we're going to take them out of here then. We're going to need to use this. That pin won't exist until this is loaded. Where's that? There. I think we need to just paste this here so we can cut that, paste that there, and then cut this again. And then back to Stealthburner LEDs. Put this here. So we can close this, back to this, And then we don't need any of this. It's worth remembering GRBW for our LED order though. GRBW is already there. Initially red and blue. Bye 3D Experiments, thanks for stopping by. So, this is the initial LED color. I've never understood why people describe stuff below the thing. My reference is always like, this describes what's below it, what comes next. Anyway, so it's the initial LED color. Okay, most configuration for the macros can be done by modifying variables in the SB underscore SB underscore vars macro at the start of this file. The following status macros are available. These goes inside of your macros. Okay. Just got macros within other macros. Oh, hang on. Let's just snip this lot. So I remember what we can put in. Use the setting for the stealth bonus status LEDs. You can change the status colors and LED configurations for the logo and nozzle here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, sure. Sure. Much macro. Such programming. Okay. We don't want to comment out them here. This calls them up. This is just a list of things you can use. We now need to go back to printer. I only have a couple of macros I think set up at the moment. And they're all in here anyway. So for example here we want like status underscore homing, and then at the end status underscore ready. Don't need to graduate leveling. We could put calibrating C in as well. Kind of want a status underscore meshing, should we do? Calibrating Z. I think we might have to do a ready just before it. Ready, calibrating Z, ready. And then we're homing again. I think if you don't put the ready in, they'll like add on top of each other and you'll just get a big mix of colors. So I think the ready should reset them. So you've got homing, ready, calibrating, doing it, ready, homing, and then ready again. Print start, print end. Don't know if I necessarily want LEDs in them, but that's like all I have at the moment. No, so enclosed. We also have main cell ones. There isn't a status underscore printing. There's ready, off, busy, heating, leveling, homing, cleaning, meshing, and calibrating Z. Cancel print, resume print, toolhead park. So effectively, status underscore ready is going to be the same as underscore printing. That will be the ready status, I guess. Or busy, I don't know. We can check what they look like. Printer, no. Stealth banner. So busy is red 0.4, green 0, blue 0, white 0. Cleaning is some blue and a little green. Calibrating is lots of red and a little blue. Heating is a little red and less green. Homing, leveling, etc., etc., etc. So where's ready? Oh, this one says printing. So why is there not a printing here? Heating off on standby. Yeah, so we actually can have. Oh, no, oh, come on. Do this. Why does it move that? Yeah, so they, yes. So my LED strips all use exactly the same Neopixel stuff. They're not technically like the brand Adafruit Neopixels, but they're pin compatible. All the instructions and stuff work exactly the same. These are RGB though, not RGBW. RGBW LEDs are basically impossible to get on anything other than like individual one-offs that you sold all together yourself at the moment, unfortunately. But we've still got plenty of colors to play with, just not white. So printing is a little bit of red. We actually don't have one for ready. Ready is what? Busy, cleaning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standby. Standby is ready. So ready is white with a tiny amount of all the other colours for some reason. And then printing is a little bit of red. I would have thought you'd want a bit of white rather than red for printing so you can see what the flip's going on. I don't know. I think it's probably easier to set them up and see what the colours like, if you like them how they are, or if you want to change them and then change them, rather than winging it and then not knowing what the defaults are and that kind of stuff. This section is required. Do not delete. Decode. Set SB LEDs. So we also have nozzle and thermal. Status printing is more focus. It doesn't actually tell you what else status printing. Status ready, status. Oh, here we go. Status printing. Set SB LEDs by name, logo, color, printing. Transmit 0, set nozzle LEDs on. So nozzle LEDs, by me, are these options. On is red 0.8, green 0.8, blue 0.8 and white 1. So that's like super duper white. That's going to be so bright and take a lot of power. Well, a reasonable amount of power. Probably don't need to be anything like that bright. But status ready is then logo on standby and nozzle on standby. Yeah, so a tiny amount of everything for logo and red on the nozzle for some reason. So these are all the statuses down here. You can change, I wouldn't necessarily change these, but if you wanted like the nozzle LEDs off for meshing, you would change it to off, and then it would load whatever you have as off, which would be this, which is obviously all zeros. Oh. So I feel like I want to use all of them, but I don't have. It's like calibrating. I don't. Maybe I should have. I think I did these ones different to what I would like. So instead of calibrating Z here, I'm going to have leveling. So just underscore printing, print end. So just underscore ready. I think that makes sense. Which also means in our main cell, if we want cancel print, we want to have to status underscore ready at the end of there. Pause, we want to have status underscore ready. Resume, we want to have status underscore printing. Toolhead park, pause, cancel. Park toolhead using pause and cancel print, so we don't need to modify that, that's just moving ahead. Okay. I think that's probably good for the RGBs. The RGBs. Hopefully now we can restart. Oh, that was silly Benilly. I need to shut down. It's not a good idea to unplug Neopixel digital LEDs anyway, whilst they're powered on. That's not good, the whole thing's just gone off again. Ooh, printing purpley. Why is it purple? Is that ready? Is ready purple? Who knows? Shut down. We could do so much with this shit though. We could just put RGBs everywhere. I kind of want some like under the bed. I think that would add a nice glow. Is it turned off? don't know when the Pi has turned off or not. So I guess that's kind of part one. We'll have to do a print at some point and test out that we get what we expect. But I think I can cross them off the list. We've got some basic things to do like E-steps as well, so let's get on with those. This is not working. There we go. Plugin Neopixel, fan and other fan. In fact, I might switch around the plans and then switch my config back to the original. So if I share it, it's not confusing for everyone else that plugged them in the right way around. I think we'll go light on the keyboard management at the moment, because I can foresee other changes being required in the near future. Hopefully it's enough to not get in the way. Right, the next thing, let's be able to take the blooming filament out. Ooh, purple. Looks kind of cool. Temperature, extruder, set temperature, 200 should be enough just to get the filament out. And that's the wrong fan, it should be this fan. No, 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 okay. Forgot to change my fan configuration. Machine. Right, let's do cool down, cool down, cool down, cool down, cool down, cool down, 0. Machine. Printer. Oh, it's not on here, is it? It's on limit here. It is 0. It only 1. Now it's probably a good time to do some calibration for extrusion. So I've got this like tube. It's a steel tube and it's exactly 150 millimeters long. So so the fan configuration, when I configured it, I switched them around because I plugged them in randomly to begin with, and then when I did the firmware, I switched them around so they were right. And now I've plugged them back in the other way around deliberately, the way you're supposed to plug them in, so that if I share my firmware, the pinouts are like what they're supposed to be, and now they match. So let's get that in here. Set this to 150 millimeters. And factory set 250. Ah, blooming Nevermore, still not, I've not even wired it in yet. Oh, I keep forgetting. It's just sitting here doing nothing. Can't even move the blooming thing. Need to make some wire for that. Some wire. So now we're going to options, extrude, 3.5, nice and slow, extrude. What? Why did it treat that like some bloody... It's not blooming G-code, we just want to extrude some filament. That's 50. Don't know why you can't do 100, that would be... Right, this is 4 lots of 25. When this stops, we measure it. That view, is that the good view? And this bit explains why we're so under extruded. We have 93 millimeters remaining. So minus the 50, this is 43 millimeters remaining. So in here, previous rotation distance times actual over 100. So we got 43 over 100. So it's this times 0.43. isn't it? Yeah. Is that right? This weird thing is these are Bontech drive gears. Oh! Is the extruder motor like half the degree steps or something? Are we like half stepping on our extruder motor? Or? Extruder, direction enabled sensor. I don't think it's a 0.9 degree stepper. I can't remember the name of the motor. I know it's LDO, but I can't remember the sodding model number, and it's all covered up with this blooming thingy-mabob. I don't think I have an extra one. Is it the... I think it's the same as what's on here. It's the same as what's on here, then it is a 1.8. Huh, that's interesting. Unless, because it's all in here, does it need to be in the other document? I didn't think it did. I thought it loads the main one and then just adds this stuff on top. The other thing I do is take this lot out of here because it doesn't need to be in here. It doesn't need to be a separate document. How do I get a report of what is configured? Can I get it to like tell me what the current configuration is? I don't know how to do that with Clipper. There's no M119. Yeah, that motor, thank you for getting that by the way, Gadget. Yeah, that is a 1.8 degree motor, so the steps per millimeter is fine. Steps per rotation is fine. It would be useful if it could tell me what is finally configured. Because as far as I can see, all of the things are correct. And yet, it's not extruding the right amount. Min temp, max temp, power. Gear ratio for CW2 is 50:10. The gear ratio is not determined by CW2, though, is it? Five to 1. Ah, that could be. Do they have in the instructions what to use? I'd like to see where they've put this. I would expect it to be in firmware, but it was not, because that's just the LEDs. That's just a picture. Docks, Voron stealth better. It's in the pins on the Discord. Okay, well, I guess that's not super helpful. So it's 50:10, which is just 5 to 1, but I think that explains most of that discrepancy. Should be basically all of that discrepancy. I might just add it actually in mine, so we'll take this 50:10 for what is it on the V0.1 then? I just have 5.49 rotation distance. I might have just adjusted it all in rotation distance. Lazy method, I guess. Let's heat back up to 250-ish. Oh shit. Yes. Oh yes, I have LGX Lite. What the hell? Is my extruder broken? It just goes all the way. What the fuck? Oh, is my like gear come loose or something? No. Has my brain ceased to function? That goes in. Is this still... Oh no. That's all the way in. That's in. Oh, it's locked that time. Weird. I mean, it's probably not. I'm sure you've all noticed what stupid thing I did there, but there you go. Luckily, you're all looking at the wrong screen. So I need to send extrude distance. This is 50. Nice and slow. I don't know why it thinks it's running a successful print. That's bizarre. Don't like saying this close to extruding ABS. It smells are funky. And then we extrude another lot. There we go. That looks much more appropriate for... Okay, we're still at 53 millimeters, so we're under extruding 3%. It's now 3 millimeters. So I guess we can calibrate that in the doobly-doo. Where is it? We'll do this time. I don't know why they've got this to like 8 decimal places or whatever it is, 7 decimal places. How can anyone possibly have calculated that this precisely? Is that rotation distance times 0.03? No, that is not right. Actual extrude distance. So it's this times 0.97. 21.9 over is just 22, isn't it? $22.678951 is a good starting point. So, like, considering how approximate the statement is, that's about a good starting point. 7 decimal places. Like, oh my goodness. So that's 22. E-steps, that's that one off the list. MCU temperatures. My slide rule doesn't have that many figures. Exactly. But there's no way anybody knows that that is an accurate evaluation. It's just bananas. Anyway, temperatures. So the CAN board temperature and Raspberry Pi temperatures is what I want to add. So on the dashboard here, at the moment we have extruder and heater. If you look at my V0, I think I have it on here. I have Raspberry Pi as a MCU temperature. So it plots it so we can see if it's overheating or what's happening. Now, this is how we did that, I think. Although I actually don't remember. Was it another thing? It might have just been in the settings. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm going to find it. I'm going to Google it. You can integrate additional sensors supported by Clipper into the temperature graph in Mainsail. Append the following section to your printer.cfg. Temperature underscore sensor Raspberry Pi. Sensor type temperature host min temp 10, max temp 100. For 80 SAM, 80 AMD and STM32 temperature sensor, add this. So hopefully, oh no, wrong printer. Machine, printer CFG. I think we'll do this at the end, although it might be nice to have a separate file for it. Either way, add that there. And oh no, why are we scrolling through this lot? Don't need this. Have this as well. So the weird thing is, I don't know how this is knowing which MCU. Let's try. Sensor type, sensor pin. Okay, sensor type. Temperature MCU. What other ones can we use then? Contain internal temperature sensor. One can use temperature sensor, temperature MCU to monitor these temperatures. So this is going to be the main microcontroller. Sensor type is temperature host. This one we call Octopus MCU. We'll do it with little letters. But what about my CAN board? That has a microcontroller on it. I'm going to guess one cannot achieve that yet. Temperature amplifiers, directly connected. The other thing is, does this have a thermistor on it? Is this going to measure our chamber temperatures? I don't think it is. PL touch. I don't need that. Oh, we'll leave it there. Screw it. I don't need that. Take that out. No, we'll leave that there as well. I'm going to move this to the bottom there. Well, let's see what this comes up with. I don't think it's going to bring up multiple sensors for the multiple MCUs or anything. Ooh, is there not? So we've got Octopus and we've got Raspberry Pi. That's a start. Sensor MCU. SCM microcontroller contains an internal sensor, so one can use temperature_MCU sensor to monitor these temperatures. Okay. So it looks like we can do this lot. It's like, I'm not even doing any work when I do a live stream. I just I talk things through in my head and the answers just appear in chat. And it turns out I'm asking these questions out loud and they just get answered. Oh dear. Where's our temperatures? At the bottom. So, temperature sensor EBB. So we'll have how does it? Oh, because it's called EBB can, isn't it? Where have we referenced it? It's in there, isn't it? Yes, it looks like this. MCU, EBB can. Sensor type is that, and then sensor MCU is EBB can, and that will then set the microcontroller name. Specified by the above two parameters, a temperature in Celsius and an ADC value as a float between 0 and 1 to calibrate the microcontroller temperature. This may improve the reported temperature accuracy on some chips. A typical way to obtain this calibration information is to completely remove fab from the printer for a few hours to ensure it's ambient, then power it up and use the query ADC command to obtain an ADC measurement. Use some other temperature sensor on the printer to find the corresponding ambient temperature. The default is to use the factory calibration data on the microcontroller or the nominal values from the microcontroller specification. What min temp should we do? Max tempies. I can't believe it's happy at 100 degrees. We'll leave it at that. Let's have a look. Is it going to worky? Oh, look, you can see it. I'm pointing with my finger on the screen. This is just MCU can here, so this is the same thing. Is it going to work? Boom! That looks like it worky to me. That Raspberry Pi looks like it also wants some cooling down. That's rather warm for something that's not doing anything. I suppose it is doing stuff. It's operating cameras and power and all sorts. Cool, 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 cool. So let's just go rename it because I want it to say MCU. Here. EBB underscore MCU. In fact, let's just name it EBB36 because that's what it's called, and we'll name it this Octopus. It's obviously the MCU. We should name it EBB. Right. That was a good one. CAN board temperatures, Raspberry Pi temperatures. Look at all those temperatures, so many temperatures. I think we want extruder in red. This will have in like this color. Oh, that's in that color. Let's have Raspberry Pi in green. I like Raspberry Pi in green. Octopus in yellow. There we go. Sorry, you can't really see the graph because I've got the camera there as well. This camera view is in the way regardless of where I put it. Right, that looks pretty good. Did you install a thermistor inside one of your vertical extrusions for frame thermal compensation measurements? Oh, goodness me, no. Yeah, I mean, so what Ella's just asked there about the chamber temperature sensor. Normally, well, when I started the build and I was planning and choosing between CAN board and direct board thing, I was not sure which one I was going with, and I sort of expected this to have a thermistor built into it because the direct, what's it called? You know, the Heart PCB mod has a thermistor built into it, which is then your chamber temperature sensor. Now, because I'm not using that, I need to add a sensor for the chamber. You can't. I don't think you can have separate screens, but you can just. Oh, it used to be you could just click the symbol to turn them off. You can just turn off. Oh, this is a bit of a pain in the ass, isn't it? Oh, it didn't even work. Maybe that was with fluid, was it? They used to have quick buttons to turn them on and off, but it looks like that doesn't happen now. Turn it off and then refresh. Did that disappear? Yeah, it does. So if you don't want them, but that's a bit of a pain, isn't it? It'd be nice to just instantly turn them on and off. Or just group these. Turn one button to turn all these on and off. Or something like that. I don't know, just more ways to manage all your temperatures. But I do want another temperature sensor though. Where are we going to install that little bastard? I'm not sure where's. I think if we put it at the top, it's going to be warmer than we expect. Like floating in the middle would be ideal, but that's also like not ideal at the same time. I could just use a random bead thermistor. That could kind of work a bit. No, I don't know how to configure one of these. I don't know what they're actually called. I've got literally no data on these thermistors, so they're probably like the most generic ones possible. Up through the drag chain. Yeah, it's probably one of the beta 100K 3950 things. I don't have a lot of length to play with, unless I modify it, which I actually can do. Oh, I've got to plug the bugger in as well, haven't I? Little shit. Should we do halfway through the drag chain? It's a bit of a pain to do that now, isn't it? But it might be a good spot for it. Or we just like poke it through this hole in the top that I made and just let it dingle dangle. Dingle dangle out there? No, that's a bit naff. I just want to plug it in, that's the... Right, we're going to have to shut it down. Is there like a normal shutdown button? There's only emergency shutdown. There's loads of temperatures on here now. Is that a scroll? We've got a scroll bar for temperatures, we've got so many. See here, they're one click turn on and off. Don't need all of those for here. Actions. There's not a quick shutdown button. That's like the one thing I want that screen for. Go to system. Oh, too late. Right. Hopefully that's pretty much shut down. Can I summon the strength to move this printer? Can I also summon the strength to make myself a wire for me fan jubilees? I need to do that. One thing at a time. There is a normal button on the dashboard. I must have missed it. Right, panel off. So this is my thermistor. Can we poke her up here through the drag chain? That's a tall order, that. It would have been easy in the middle of the build. Not so much now. Right, it's up there somewhere. Oh yeah, it's poked out. Zippy tie that to the other thing so it doesn't fall out the bottom of the drag chain. Oh, this is annoying now. Okay, we're going to put a new end on this, I think, and then we can do our wiring for this as well. Because I think we're going to want it to be JST for a decent connection regardless. That's not the right one. Where's me? There it is. That crimping tool. We need that little thing. So this is going to come through ear, over ear. I could probably tuck it into one of these tubes, to be honest. Where's my thermistors? There's this lot, isn't it? I've only got one. 1 of 5, so we can use loads more. Shall we just add more? How many temperature sensors should we put in? I don't have any exhaust. No, there's no exhaust on this printer at all. We only heat. We never exhaust. Temperatures only go up. Something here. An electronics bay temperature sensor. That one will be very short. We could just stick a doobly out the top of here. Ooh, camera, that's quite a good shout, because that little puppy is going to get mighty warm. It's right at the top of the enclosure. Use them all. One for every motor. Motors, that's not a bad shout either. Like, be interesting, wouldn't it? A sensor for the sensor. You got to make sure you're temperating. Somehow, I don't think measuring the temperature, the sensor of a temperature sensor, is going to gain you much new information. Strangely. The nice thing about temperature sensors is you can't really wire them up wrong. As long as you connect them in, you're golden. Yeah, this really needs to be in one of these wraps. Otherwise it's just messy. Problem is they're all like managed and tidied already. This might be enough just to help me get away with messiness. Hide this hideously white cable. Unfortunately, I've twisted all this around. It makes it very difficult to put new cables in. I think that's going to have to do. That's the temperature sensor. Right. Now we need to wire this little mess in. JST and some wire. This slot should do. I'm not sure how much length I'm going to need. Something like that. Back to there, maybe a bit more. I can do too much, but too little will be a problem for obvious reasons. Hello, Alexander. Ooh. What's the rise running down the back of the printer all about? Down the back of the printer. Oh, it's to get the wires to the top, isn't it? Oh yeah, this lot here. It's easier than running them on the inside, so I'm running them on the outside. USB, like lights and USB for the camera and the filament sensor. How did we get back to doing wiring again? Thought I'd wired this printer once already. That's rubbish. I broke my magnetic one of these, and the slotted one is not quite perfectly printed, so it's a bit wobbly, unfortunately, and keeps falling off. Has Nero just finished streaming or something? I feel like a bunch of people have just joined. Or is that just me thinking that? That's not great, but I think it's okay. Come on. Okay. So that's what's going in. Oh. Okay, that's okay. Do kind of want to know which one of these is the red one and which one's the black one. Oh no, this is the right thing. Just have to go forwards. So red is this side. So red will strip the end. So we had a problem with doing 48 volts. Something didn't like it and it went weird. So that's sort of out at the moment. It's gone out of fashion. This is not going to go where I need it to go. It's too curly to poke all the way back to where I need it to. Need like a big ruler or something to tape it to. I know, I've got an idea. Back it around here. I know, you can't see anything. But I'm not going to move this bloody heavy printer now, I'm afraid. Oh, moving stuff. Oh, my side panels are on as well. Oh no. How do I do this? Definitely do this before you put your bed in. Much easier. It's not even going close to where I need it to go. Against my better judgment of sticking metal things around a mains powered printer, I should use this. Oh, there's that broken. Yep, already got a filament run out center. I'm using the BigTreeTech Smart Filament Sensor. The problem is I can put the cable through the other way, but I still then have to poke it through the bed. It's just got to go the other way through the bed, which is not necessarily easier. In fact, it's probably even more difficult. The Daybreak Neo Mini is a V0 sized RGB, ARGB. It's RGB, yes, for V0 size. It's 170 millimeters. I have some brackets actually, I forgot to upload them. What a fool. I spent time designing them and then forgot to upload the blasted things. There's nothing worse than a project half done, is there? Hopefully that's okay. And then one of these fan headers here will do. Any one of these. So that cable length should be good. Give myself a little bit of extra wiggle room. Oh, how have I cut them completely different length? What a nitwit. Hopefully the shortness is okay. Oh, this is Nevermore. It's a Nevermore active carbon filter. Active carbon, activated carbon, charcoal filter stuff. So this is the negative side. Let's get it in the connector so we get it around the right way. Evening all, evening. And then the other one. That pin goes into the side. Took it around these cables again. Let's turn it off somewhere like that. And we can go back in firmware and configure them. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's just somehow detached itself. There we go. Happy days, all good. There needs more cable management here. This needs to like be grouped in here. This SSR is a Delda. I've no Delixi? I don't know. I think it's the standard one. The heater people, Kinovo. I think it's what they use. Yeah, Rat Rig will use the same one. People love my wiring. I think it looks better on camera than it does in real life. It's a bit of a rat's nest, really. Right, let's see if we can configure this temperature sensor. I got the cable covers from AliExpress. I was going to buy some and resell them in my shop. I thought that might be a good idea because people ask about them a lot. I recommend them. I think they're good. I've tried to use them on other printers. So that might be a good idea. I do have a bomb linked in the description. CB-C2 is nearly in its release stage now too. Just in time for other things to happen. Any tips on getting a Raspberry Pi 4B for a non-insane scalper price? No. Nobody will have any of those. If they knew, they would have bought them themselves. Are they the ones that expand if you push them together? No, this is the plastic one that does that. The ones I have in the basement are like these, yeah, split, and they kind of like wrap over, like you can open them like this and then they like close over one another like that, and they're kind of fabric-y looking. Yeah, stock does appear occasionally. I managed to get one just a couple of weeks ago. I killed a Raspberry Pi setting up this printer. Well, I killed a Raspberry Pi. A Raspberry Pi was killed due to a faulty power supply. Only way to get one right now is to go to the physical Raspberry Pi shop in Cambridge. Do they actually have them in the Raspberry Pi shop in Cambridge? I'm sure they don't. Because people would have just gone in there and bought them all. Do they actually? I was literally next to Cambridge. Why did I not go get some? Ah! Do they really? I completely forgot the Raspberry Pi shop was in Cambridge. Ah. I'm an idiot. One per customer. Is that one of each type? Can I get like a 4 gig and like a 0 and a 0W2? Oh, I can't believe it. It was such a long drive. I went to Norwich. No, the desktop power supply has died for other reasons, which I've failed to determine yet. I'm trying to talk to the seller on AliExpress and they're not great at communicating. It's not going well. I don't want to go to Cambridge again. It was too far to drive. And it cost like 40 quid in petrol to get there. It wouldn't be any saving. What else? So what are we doing? Fans. We've got to configure some fans. So we need the pinout numbers. Where's... Oh no, it's not Octopus 1, is it? Pin diagram for that. We can also add the temperature sensor. Sensor type is, maybe we'll guess this one. I mean, it's anyone's guess. Which is the most generic 100K? Is it the Honeywell or is it the Epicos one? Or is it the NTC one? I don't remember. Oh, you're in Ipswich as well. I didn't realise you were in Ipswich, to be honest. I could have made much better use of my time up there and didn't. Oh, generic 3950? That's the... Yeah, I just saw that just before you said it. Sensor pin. So we need to find the pin number. Where did we plug it in? This one? God damn it, don't remember. Let's give it a bit, can we give it a tilt without electrocuting ourselves? Oh, that's risky. It's the second one up. J45, no, J45 will link to a thing here. PF4. My enclosure thermistor I have just installed jankily at the back, sticking out of the thing. You can see it. It is there, just here. Sticking out of the drag chain. Sophisticated. You have 5 Raspberry Pis that are not being used, but if I found some to sell at normal prices, I would buy a few for sure. Always use would have spares. I have a few Raspberry Pis, but like all the time I have to keep building new printers. Well, have to. I make it sound like such a chore. Obviously, when you get new printers, sometimes now they don't come with Raspberry Pi. And so if I'm going to do a project where I'm building a printer, I need to have them. I probably will leave it there now because the wire is going to be too short to do anything else. That should just be that. We can do the fan. How do we do a fan? Oh, not a fab, a fan. Let's go up to fan section. Let's add in actually before we do that, because macro section ends here. So we'll add this and we'll call this temperature sensors. Why not? Every time you print, it's going to be staring at you, waiting for something to be designed to hold it. Yeah, but most of the time I'm too busy to worry about it. Pause on run out. Okay, so this is what enables us to turn on and off the sensor. Run out G-code, insert G-code, event delay, pause delay. So that's how we really actually configure it. At the moment it does a thing and it will tell you when it's on and off, but it's not actually going to stop anything. Fan. Oh. Come on, fan. Did it just delete what I changed? No. So I guess we'll call it exhaust fan, but it's not. We'll call it filter fan. So when the heater reaches 50, turn it on, kickstart, max power, heater temp. Is PD13 where we plugged it in? That's the question. Probably not. We did it on J50, which is P88. Oh shit. P8. Oh my goodness, sorry everyone, I've been an idiot again. Right. Multi-fin, oh that's controller fans, dibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-doo, happy with that, happy with that, happy with that. Save and restart. I have a bunch of CB1 module control Raspberry Pi change board things all ready to test. I built like a pretend 3D printer test platform thing so I can try them out, plug them in and configure things and see what works and what doesn't. So I have stuff on that coming, it's just not right now. Soonish, as soon as I can, I promise. So, has that worked? Do we have more temperature sensors? Chamber, 26.2. That seems reasonable for back there. So many sensors. More sensors than you can shake a stick at. And then fans, extruder, machine, fan, filter fan. Oh, I can't manually filter fan, that's just going to come on. Oh, I suppose we can put the bed to like 41, hopefully that won't take too long. And we should see them come on. Nothing. Absolutely diddly squat. Did I put it at 50? I think I put it at 50, didn't I? Good evening, Pascal. We're now at 52 and still nothing. Well, why does this not work then, eh? This heater fan should turn PA8 onto fan speed of 1 when the heater bed reaches 50 degrees. And it doth not do that. Why does that not work? We've hit 50. Filter fan is set to 100%, but nothing is turning on. Great. Great, 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 great. Can I pull it out the front? Oh, the cable's not going to be long enough, is it? I've made a... Oh dear. So why is this? Oh, I didn't put it on that one, I put it on the second one. I think then I got the pin incorrect. It's this one, PE5. Filter fan, nothing. Yeah, the electronics bay on the bottom is annoying, isn't it? If it was on the back, that would be my preference too. And it's still not working, gosh darn it. What's going on? It must be like the wrong way round or something weird. I marked the positive one so that they were the right way around. I might have now killed the fans by now. So where's this off button that people keep telling me about? Dashboard. There's this. That's emergency power off. Config. Homing. Actions. Macros, console, disable, pins, extrude. Config. Save, settings, system. Shut down. Well, that's a pain to get to, isn't it? got macros for Nevermore. Oh, that was close. For Nevermore. Do we need macros for Nevermore? Do you not just turn it on when it comes on and turn it off when it gets cold again? I assumed it was the kind of thing you just leave on all the time. Where would you not want it filtering air? When the bed's hot and you're printing, I would want it doing a thing, I think. I think the trick is these fans are wired backwards. On that label, on here, that side closest to the edge of the board. Oh no, that is ground. And then fan 2 is the fan label. I guess let's get some power in it. I must have somehow mixed the wires around at some point or killed 2 fans. Either way, not great. I think my multimeter is running low on batteries. I didn't even realise I had batteries. I've never changed them. So let's put this to 52 again. Filter fans are already working. So we should have, that light is on. Well, that's not good. Minus 36 volts, what the hell are you on? Minus 30, what the fuck? Oh, these have not come on either. When are those supposed to come on? Have any of the fans come on? Where's that going to? That's lights, that's just fixed volt. I think are my fan ports dead? That is minus 37 volts. How the fuck, what the actual? 37.7 volts. What? What? 38 volts across the power. Why is my power supply producing 38 volts? I think this is low. There's no way that's correct. This power supply is incapable of creating 38 volts. Yes, it's in DC mode. How do I even replace the batteries? It's still saying 37 volts. I don't know how to change the... I'm assuming it's not a particularly safe process given that it's warning of electrical shock. Install battery if needed and quick acting fuses with amp volt rating shown in the operating manual. What frickin' type of battery is this thing using? Is it not just some normal batteries? Oh, there's a 9-volt battery flopping around in there. Literally flopping around in there. Amazing. Nine-volt extra heavy-duty battery. It's not so extra heavy-duty anymore, is it? God, who the hell uses 9-volt batteries? I don't think I have a 9-volt battery. Of all the batteries I do have, a 9-volt one is probably not one of them. Oh my goodness, I have a whole box of them. How old are these? These are probably pretty old. They have a date of March 2020 on them. Don't you own more than one multimeter? No. I think this goes this way round. We're good to go. Two years past their use by date, and I've used 3 out of the box. Start checking the voltage across the old battery. Do I really have to? .99 volts, and one across a unused one, 9.34 volts. That is good to go. Screw that use by date. What the hell is that all about? Probably not safe to use. Prone to leaking, exploding, and otherwise causing damage to nearby users. Okay, let's have another go. .24 volts, much more accurate. So these pins should worky. Yeah, I don't want to... Yeah, this is not safe. Let's put them on here and then switch around if we need to. That's nothing. So take out one, let it go, take out the other one, move it to the other connector, and put in the first one. This should now be guaranteed to work. Yay! Oh, fuck me. Well, it worked. It just made a big spark. Fuck my life. I'm pretty sure the fans are 24-volt fans. Those are set to 24 volts, but it did make a weird sparky when I plugged it in. My luck is low. Let's turn her off again. I'm going to pull it out and test it on the bench, as it were. Ooh, it's a bit warm in there now. It's all expanded a bit, I think, and now is not as easy to pull out. Why does it not have a little handle for pulling this thing out? How are you supposed to get this sort of thing out? The Nevermore fans are 12 volts. No, bollocks. Are they? Have I just done that? Flipping balls. I'm pretty sure they fried, given that blue sparks came out the connector when I bloody connected the soldering thing. Excuse my French. Oh no! Oh, I feel like I used to be good at this. Can I use this to like pull it out? No. I need like a hook. If I only had like a 3D printer or something. There's nothing in here that you can like grab onto. For some reason, just doing stuff on camera just makes me that little bit more careless. Off camera, I like, don't break anything. This printer does feel a bit cursed, doesn't it? I've never had this many troubles. It's also the printer that I organised from nothing to ready to build in the shortest amount of time ever. So let's put this back to 50. Oh, we're already on at 40. Yeah, it's already spinning, it's already on, and the fans are kaput. 2 bloody fans. Try to measure the winding. How does one measure a winding, sir? Continuity from positive to negative. Is a Zippo. No, these are expensive fans. Measure the rise with low ohm setting. 200 ohms. This is both fans. It's more than 200 ohms. It's more than 20 kilo ohms. It's more than 20 mega. They're both dead. 100% both dead. And I can't even get the bloody things out. There we go. This needs to be better designed to be able to get the thing in and out. Where's the bloody fan connector? Check the Octopus fan ports. Because you think I might have screwed the fan ports as well. That would be fun, wouldn't it? $12 volts. Thank you, J-Tran. I would say another one bites the dust, but it's another 2 bite the dust. DC 12 volt. Come on. Why is this so obscenely difficult to deal with? What I should have done when I realised these were 12 volt fans is just wire them in series. I need to get these out of here now. Might as well just cut the wires off. Did I wire them in series? No, of course not. Yeah, they're sun-on fans. So these are 2-watt fans. We should be able to work out what the resistance should be, and it's totally screwed. Yep, they're dead. Well, that was fun. I guess we can use them as like ornamental fans. Did you not modify the fan opening? What do you mean the fan opening? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I have a second kit, so let's use those fans and try not to screw those ones too. This one I've also started to wire incorrectly. This one looks nicer printed than the one that I'm actually using. No, you're not meant to cut this version open. That's just the V4 version. So what I actually did on one of them is cut the top open. That's what it kind of says, but it also doesn't say that. What you realise when you get to it is that you actually need the threaded inserts in the top of this to go on here for using the screws to hold the whole thing down. So yeah. So cut these. That's that one. And then you have to do this one. So many faulty items in each project, you can build another whole functional thing. Yeah, a Raspberry Pi, a power supply, 2 fans. I think this is the first one that's my fault. Like, this was clearly just me being a fucking idiot. The fan says 12 volts, yeah. And I vaguely remember when I put them in, I was like, oh, these fans are 12 volts. I must remember to switch the header over or wire them in series. And then obviously totally forgot, thinking about all the other things, what I'm thinking about. And long story short, we end up with a dead one, a dead pair of fans. Right. This is in general a bit of a ball ache to wire up, to be quite honest. But at the end of the day, if it works, this is what we do. Problem is now the wires are a little bit twisted. Hopefully that's enough. Now, which ones are from which fan? It looks like I have actually cut the front off of this one, so this one will be a bit different. I cut off half of the front. It just looks like I've made a mess. What I could do actually, oh no, because it's the bottom, that's that. No, that doesn't work. But I do need some threaded inserts for the top of this other thing. But that's all the way over there. Where is the machine and the plugs and the heaters and the all the other things that I need? Trouble is, because yes, a few days ago, I shared on Twitter I had this little Elegoo power supply, and one of the pins came off. Like one of the mains pins just fell off in the power connector it was connected to, and so it was rattling around inside. I wanted to be able to remove it, so I went to remove the back cover. Obviously, I've unplugged it, but that uses some ridiculous proprietary screw connector, which I can't get, or don't have, rather, despite having like 100 different screw tips. And now I need to find something that's not connected. As much as I like to share this bit on screen, I don't have the power connectors available to do it. So, I'm just going to nip over there to do these. Oh, I need to solder this up as well, don't I? Yeah, disaster after disaster. Can this even come out of here? Oh, I have this down here. I can use this. Okay. We can get... Despite the minimal desk space, I shall squeeze it in. That's going to go in there. We shall also need soldering iron tips for the next bit. It's 10:15. Oh, we've only got like 15 minutes left. Thread inserts. This smells a bit funkier than normal, not quite sure why. Now we need soldering. This is the don't try this at home section. Oops. This will probably be the next thing I break, the soldering iron. It's left a nice little burn mark on the desk. Let's just leave it there. Let's get this tip into here. Oh shit, don't do that. Oh, come on. It's still hot, unsurprisingly. It's not that hot. It's only 300 degrees Celsius. That is exactly how hot it is. That hot. Oh, that's super bloody hot. It holds a lot of energy as well, this little brass insert thing. Do you see that? My lights will just change brightness. Probably didn't notice it, camera will have self-adjusted itself. How did I do this? Poke it out through the hole. This much length or something. Oh, that's a bit short. Will there be a full size of the Daybreak Neo for retail? Daybreak Neo is full size. So the minis are the ones I'm giving away, but there's already a full size on the website. Unless by retail you mean like in a shop near you, in which case probably not. We need some solder. One day I'll have a big enough desk where I don't have to like move stuff around everywhere. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Need to hold this in place with something. Ooh. Cut these wires way too short, but I think we can still just about make it work. noise. Excuse my French. My mishaps are plenty. Now, which side was positive? And that goes in that side, which makes this one positive. Once it gets to this end, this side is positive. Okay, not the best soldering I've done, but that should be connected. The question is, can I now do this again without destroying more fans? That goes to red, that goes to red, that goes to there. I'm just going to go for it. Victory! Right. Now we've just got to get this lot in the printer. Easier said than done. Gonna have to feed the bloody cable through again. Is my bed still being heated? Yep, let's just stop that. One cable is now shorter than the other by a margin. Okay, whatever. We are going to go back to... Oh, we could use this over here. This is the other... Okay, well, whatever. Time to power off. Configuration, system shutdown, continue. Lid. Annex K3 build. I don't know if anyone's providing kits for Annex K3 at the moment. Is that BigTreeTech touchscreen? It is Pi TFT50. I have the standard strip single color white boring. Wish they were RGB strips in mine, so they are due an upgrade. White, I think, is actually pretty good for just illumination, because the colored ones are not great for actually looking at things. They look nice themselves, and they add like accents and indicators and all this kind of stuff. But if you just want to see something, white is good. That's that one. Now we're going to pokey this back in here carefully. Good night. Hope you enjoy your event thing, whatever that may be. So I don't understand how this is supposed to fit in this blooming. Like so, and this pokey through here, higgery jiggery, pokery jokery, in the port. That's a 12-volt one. We're laughing. Bit of extra cable, bit of a mess. Could do with being a bit tidier. The main thing is, it works. WLED, what's WLED? WLED was written to run on ESP8266 and ESP32 microcontrollers to help with controlling Neopixel LEDs. When installed on a microcontroller, WLED runs a web server that can be controlled by an iOS app. Blimey. Okay. It is indeed 22:30. It is bedtime. It's definitely bedtime. RGBs in the skirts. Well, I've got literally loads of RGB LEDs. These mini ones have not sold as well as the big ones at the moment. The big ones are basically sold out again already, so I need to get more. These ones are selling, but I think because I've marketed them as for V0, people are just, I don't have a V0, so I don't need them. But they are basically identical to the big ones. They're just shorter. So if you have a small printer or just a big printer that you don't need huge LEDs, you can put multiples of these in, like around wherever. And they're just Neopixel. All the Neopixel things you can just do with these as well. My 3D printer. It's getting a bit that way, isn't it? Just RGB, all the things. Or maybe I'll write RGB underglow on my to-do list. What else have we done? We've not adjusted home speeds or probing speeds. We've not done ADXL. We've not done nozzle scrubbing. We've done chamber temperature. We've not changed the nozzle out or anything. We've not done cauliflower. We've not done the RGB. We've not done the noctua fans. We did the temperature graph for the MCUs. We've not tuned input shaper. That's ADXL. And we've not tested the filament sensor. And we've not adjusted the extruder motor current. ADXL is on the EBB36. Yes, I knew. I just haven't actually like I know it's there. I just haven't used it to do the input shaping measurements. That's all. Enjoy your holiday, Ricky B. My printer doesn't have 24 volts. I probably won't be selling 12 volt LED strips just purely because I think the number of people still running 12 volt printers is probably quite low. We need to do the competition, don't we? How many did I say? 2. So 2 individual winners. You'll get a voucher for one of these and free shipping. Because if I gave you one of the things but you had to pay for shipping, that would not be very fair, would it? like you can have this thing, but you have to pay £50 shipping so you can have it. So I'm going to bring up the wheel of names. I have to take out previous wheels of names winners. Oh dear. Oh. So Pinned message to enter. Yeah, I'll give you another, like... Oh, my phone is shit. It just keeps pocket moding itself. 2 minutes, and then the timer will go off. Pinned at the top, pinned at the top, pinned at the top, 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 top. Just waiting. No, you don't have to scroll. It should be like a blue message. It says Daybreak Neo Mini Give a What. You can't see more, and then you click it, and then there's a Google Forms link. Something tells me you're new here. You have until the timer runs out. If I can find out when the timer is, 35 seconds. There's 100% something there, Bob. Unless you've like disabled it, it's definitely there, and everyone else can see it. And that's it. We're shut. So we had 5 or 6 more entries in the last few minutes. Sorry if you didn't manage to enter in time, but we are now at the end. So there'll be more competitions in the future, so don't worry. We shall take all of these names. And give me a number to shuffle, something less than 20. Eight seems like a good plan. Let's go with 8. So draws are both the same, so it doesn't matter which order we're doing first. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spin. Winner of first is me buttons. They're not here, but you win anyway. Congratulations. That's also quite a good name, so well done. You are here. Why did it not? Oh, you're here now. I tried to tag you and it didn't come up, so I assumed you were not here, but maybe I typed it wrong. Congratulations. I'll contact you via email, via the email you provided in the form. So no need to do anything, just wait for me. And now we draw the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spinning. Do 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 do. Mr. Jotter D. You are also not here. Well, the first person was here, but anyway. Mr. Jota D is not here as far as I can see. Unless you're going to speak now and then I can tag you, because I definitely tried then. So I'll get you your voucher codes. Pretty soonish. It might not be... I'll send you an email tonight probably. But don't expect another response because I'm going to go to bed immediately afterwards. Oh, see, as a way to find out who's watching. Oh, well, that's annoying because that's how I'd know who's here and who's not. I can see a list of all participants. Ah, but again, that's just people who are currently chatting. Strange. Right. I don't think there's anything more to cover. We're done for today. Don't know when the next one will be. Probably some random time next week. Maybe I'll do one Sunday. I don't think I've got anything else Sunday evening. We can do a bit more playing around. Or there might be another thing. I might do a different thing. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll speak to you all soon. I won't speak at you. I'll speak at you soon. There'll be a video out this week as well, though, so that's exciting. And hopefully one next week. The week after, I mean. Right. Cheerio. Congrats to the winners, and I'll see you all next time.